Cinema Rolls Podcast.
Welcome to the Cinema Rolls Podcast, where we like cinema and we keep it rolling. I don't know. I was trying something new. I don't think that works either.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized I was in the dock. There we go. Cool. Today we will be talking about Friendship. We went and saw Friendship this past weekend. It doesn't have today, as of today, it doesn't have a wide release, right? It's just in select theaters.
Right.
And
It's officially next week, the 23rd, I believe.
so by the time this episode comes out, it will have its wide release.
Yes.
And Friendship is rated R. It is directed by Andrew DeYoung. It's also written by the same guy, Andrew DeYoung. It stars Tim Robinson, Paul Rudd, and Kate Mara. And yeah, that's what we're talking about today. You want to go first, Eric?
Sure. It was good. It was interesting. It was different. I think a lot of people might go see this movie because of Paul Rudd and come back disappointed, not expecting what it is.
Yeah.
Having seen some clips from Tim Robinson's show, although I wasn't expecting it to be just that, I was thinking it's going to be a little different. I wasn't, disappointed or upset when it did go that route.
Yeah. I was gonna say, did you watch his show before?
I've only seen clips that the guys from work have shown me.
Okay.
Like some of the skits.
I was gonna ask if it was at all similar humor.
Yeah, they're just like very like socially awkward like guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of figured.
Yeah. But no, I liked it. My friends loved it. They were laughing so much. They were the loudest. But no, it was good.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Friendship.
Cool.
What you think?
I liked it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. I think I'm just gonna refer to my notes on this one because I wrote some notes this time around.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I tend to ramble and yeah. So right away, I really liked all the camera movements. It was all like super super slow, like slow zoom, slow dolly, slow pans, and it keeps you like feeling really really uneasy like the whole movie.
Yeah.
And I think the what it's commenting on is something that kind of, and I think that's kind of the point, is like we as men tend to kind of ignore, and it's the fact that we need like a support group and we need friends. And when you get older, as an older man, it's actually harder to make friends. And I'm realizing this as I get older and as someone who lives in a different state than the rest of my family and works with a bunch of people that are like 20 years older than me. Like most of the people I work with are like 15, 20 years older than me. And it's not like they're bad people, they're cool, but like it's just, I don't know, different generations, so we don't really hang out outside of work. And it makes it really difficult to make friends out here because other than my girlfriend and the people that we hang out with that we've met at like cons and stuff, I don't really have any friends out here, And so I feel like this movie kind of tackles that whole idea that as men, as we get older, we kind of have a harder time making friends. And it's not only is it hard for us to make friends, but it's something that we don't really want to acknowledge or talk about. And so the movie has a big focus on support groups. Like it opens up with a support group.
Yeah.
And it's more of a support group for his wife, but he's just kind of there with her, which was really funny, by the way. The whole movie is hilarious. I'm talking about it as if it's like a really serious movie, and it kind of is, but it's also really fucking funny. But like and then in the garage scene when they start singing and stuff,
Yeah.
right? That feels like a support group because he's talking about his daughter, right? And how he like feels weird
Right.
about it, and they're like all there supporting him. Like they're like in a circle too. It feels like an AA meeting or support group, right? And
Yeah.
uh, and I also like that song too. Then that they're singing in the support group, like in the garage, at the end gets subverted, right?
Right.
Uh, well, which by the way, audience, if you haven't seen the movie, you shouldn't be watching this right now or listening to this right now. You should probably go see the movie and then come listen to this because we're gonna talk about all kinds of stuff that happened in the movie, which is gonna spoil a lot of stuff. Unless you don't care, then keep listening. But at the end, where he has the gun in his hand and he starts singing the same song in hopes that they sing along with him, it gets subverted and it makes it way more creepy than when the garage it felt like a cool little friendship scene, like, oh dope, they're all homies jamming out, right? And then at the end it turns into like, oh, this is really creepy and weird.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and it does a really good job at commenting on that, because on the whole friendship thing as an adult male, because you got the main character, who Tim Robinson plays, right?
Yeah.
Craig,
Hmm.
and he is like a very unlikable character, right? Like he's socially awkward. He says the wrong things at the wrong times. He's a very uncool, goofy dude. He's a compulsive liar. You see at the very beginning where he's like taking the package to Paul Rudd's house and his work calls, and he's like, yeah, I'm coming up the stairs right now. I mean, like right in the very beginning, you see he's just like a compulsive liar. He's extremely impulsive too, and at times that makes him do like some really fucking crazy shit in the movie, and it's yeah. So he's a very unlikable person. Then you have Paul Rudd's character, who is like the coolest guy ever.
Yeah.
He's like on the complete other side of the spectrum of people you would want to befriend, right? You have Craig, who's like the least likable person, likable, least type of person you would want to befriend. Then you have Paul Rudd on the other end of the spectrum, and he's like you want that guy as a friend. He seems mad cool.
Yeah.
And I like that they do that, because not only do those characters kind of juxtapose each other, but it kind of fills the entire spectrum of any guy, right? Any guy that's watching that movie can fall within the spectrum between his character and Paul Rudd's character.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think also it's a dark comedy, because we as men, we tend to shy away from these like inner feelings and kind of darker thoughts of like loneliness and depression, and a lot of times we try to mask it with humor, and
Yeah.
Craig actually does it in the movie a lot. He like every time like something fucked up is happening in his life, he tries to say a joke and it doesn't land, because it's just like the worst time ever to say a joke.
Yeah.
And and even though he's a super unlikable guy, I think too, like, he's not a bad guy. He's kind of dumb and goofy and impulsive, but he is kind of a good friend. Like at the moments where Paul Rudd's toupee falls off, he is like a really good friend to him. He knows it's an embarrassing thing for him, so he like looks away. He's like, yeah, you're good. Like, yeah, you're good. And then at the end, he like purposely makes himself seem even crazier. He's like, everybody get the fuck down, right? Just so Paul Rudd can have time to put his toupee back on. So he's a good friend. He's just kind of a socially awkward and kind of weird dude. And
Yeah.
I think that just kind of speaks more to the fact that like we gotta try to accept everybody, for who they are, and befriend these people, and who knows what they're going through, and even if they're kind of weird, just kind of be kind to them, and maybe they need a friend.
Yeah.
But other than all that serious stuff, it was really fucking funny, and I really liked it.
Yeah. No, it was really good. I enjoyed it. It was one time. People in the theater were laughing there was a lady in our row at the end who I think she was there with other people, but she had like sit in our row by herself. And I didn't hear her laugh not once in that movie. And then there was one point where he goes to like, pick up the phone and it comes off the wall. And at that part, she was like, "Oh, that's funny." That's all she did.
Out of all the parts, that was the funny part to her.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
funny.
She didn't laugh. She just said, "That's funny."
Yeah, I like that about this movie too. Is that like there are so many moments where like even I felt like I was like I don't know if I'm supposed to laugh at this or not. This kind of fucked up. But
Yeah,
and there's parts of the movie where some people would laugh and some people wouldn't. You know, and
Yeah.
I thought that was really funny because I felt like I was learning everybody's humor as the movie was going on. Like this person,
Mhm.
the person in the back was like fucked up. He was laughing at all the fucked up shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like. And then the person next to me was like a lady, so she was like every time he would like say something fucked up to his wife, she'd be like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, why would you say it?" You know? Like, yeah. I really like the subway scene too.
that subway scene's great.
It's so funny. Yeah. It's funny because it builds up to it as if it's going to be like a huge pivotal moment in his character development, right?
Yeah.
Like as if this is going to be like the thing that flips him around, right? And makes him better. And then he just goes to Subway. I love it. That's so funny.
Yeah.
What would you rate this movie, Eric?
I think I would give it a 7.
7?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with the 8. Actually, I really liked it,
yeah, yeah. That's cool.
which is good because the average on IMDb is a 7.6. So between the two of us,
There we
we hit the
Yeah.
average.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It was cool. I really liked it. I really recommend people go see it, especially if you're a dude, especially if you have a lonely friend, dude. You know, you gotta get
Oh,
those
yeah.
lonely friend dudes out of the house. Get them off social media. Get them off the computer. Take them to the movie. See how they're doing in life. Maybe go on an adventure through some aqueducts. You know,
Yeah.
he lost his wife
Yeah.
down there.
That
So crazy.
was crazy.
So crazy. Yeah. What do you think your favorite part of the movie was, Eric?
I think it was the subway scene.
The subway scene? Yeah. It was really funny.
Because like the kid told him like it was supposed to be like months, like his trip would last. Like it would seem like it was months. And all he did was go to Subway, place an order.
He's like, what'd they say? He's like, nothing. I ordered. It's like, I ordered a sandwich.
Like the toad ripped me off.
Yeah. Yeah. That shit was so funny, yo. I think my favorite part was the part where they're like celebrating his wife coming back. And he's like in the garage hiding from everybody on his drum set.
Yeah.
And then that guy comes in and he's like, hey, nice drum set. He's like, at first it starts off like really like nice conversation.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and you know what else? Fuck you. You should have left your fucking wife. He's like, you fucking coward, this and that. And he's like, Craig's character is like, who the fuck are you? Get out of here. I don't even know you. He like spits on his ground and is like, get out. That shit was so funny.
Yeah. I did like the bit that he kept breaking his phone. So he had to keep going to get a new phone.
Yeah. Or the fact that he only shops at one place.
Yeah.
It's the only place that fits me just right.
Was the OVDs or something like that? I forget what the brand was that he said
Oh
it
yeah,
was.
yeah, I forget what it was too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was super funny.
Yeah. And then the son kissing his mom on the lips.
Yeah, yeah. Or when he kept referring to the Marvel movies as a Marvel.
As a Marvel.
You want to go see the new Marvel? It's supposed to be nuts.
Yeah. He like absolutely won't let them talk about her flat in his garage. She doesn't want any spoilers because his family
Yeah.
comes to see with him.
No spoilers. I said no spoilers. Get out of here. He's like, we're only here for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Movie was good though. I definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
You have anything you would want to recommend that might be similar to this movie?
Similar. Well, there's I Love You, Man.
That's the
Paul
only
Rudd.
one I could really think of. And that one's not as dark. That was a little more heartfelt, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, and then the other movie I was thinking of, I think it's called The Gift with what's his face? Jason Bateman and the other guy. Who plays Uncle Owen in Star Wars. He was in Warrior with Tom Hardy.
I know what you're talking about. I don't
Yeah.
know if I know the movie you're
I
talking
can't,
about though.
can't remember his name. I think it's called The Gift, and I think it's Bateman.
Jason Bateman, you had it. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? I have seen this movie. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's like that, but that was more serious. It's not comedy, but it's about like a friend
You
like
know what? Yeah.
injecting himself into this couple's relationship.
Solid connection there, Eric. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a good recommendation for sure. I actually really like
Yeah.
this movie too. It's a little creepy, but
It is, but it's good, and I think this movie like sits right in between.
I was just about to say
You
that.
know?
I was like, the two recommendations you gave is like one's on the heartfelt side of the spectrum and the other one's on the creepy side of the spectrum, and this movie is like right in the middle.
Yeah, and I'm wearing my
Nice. I didn't even.
yeah,
I didn't know yet. You have an I
Yeah.
Love You Man shirt?
I Love You, Man shirt. Yeah, I got it when I was working at the theater, and I love this shirt because people don't like if they get the reference, like they think it's hilarious, but
That's
most of the time they
awesome.
don't get it.
Dang, you've matched a shirt to every single one of our episodes so far. I didn't
So
have
far,
any, I
yeah.
didn't have any Superman things to wear, and I didn't know what to wear for this one. I was gonna wear my A24 hat, but I wore it last time, so
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
I
I have
just wore my Daredevil shirt.
nice, great shirt. I have Superman stuff for the simple fact that people know that I like comics and superheroes, so people buy me Superman stuff.
Okay, gotcha. I actually have
But those
Superman
are for-
slippers, but
Yeah, those are for people that just like they don't really know me, right? Like they know me, but they don't know because
Yeah.
if they knew me, they would know I don't like Superman.
you hear that, audience? Don't buy Eric's Superman shit, okay? He doesn't want it.
I don't.
Which, speaking of
I appreciate the thought, but
speaking of the last episode, there were some people on TikTok that were really mad at me for assuming that Lois Lane was asking about Superman's sexuality. And I just want to say, I'm really sorry to you guys because I feel really bad because I was really sassy in the comments. But you know what? I'm not sorry because fuck you guys. You know what? I take it back. I'm not sorry. Superman's gay.
I mean, I don't know, but I told you the Superman fans were going to come for us,
Yeah, you did.
even though we didn't really say like a lot of negative stuff about him.
We did it. We
Like I
liked the
told
movie.
Yeah, we have a good rating.
Yeah. By the way, we should keep like a spreadsheet of all our ratings.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good
That
idea.
way we can kind of go back and refer to things.
Yeah,
But yeah, and by the way, other audience that just had to witness that, sometimes I could be a little unhinged, and so just expect that sometimes.
yeah. But now we could list our ratings, put them like 7 cinnamon rolls out of 10.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
As far as recommendations for me, what I would recommend that's similar to this movie, I don't know, honestly. I think I would recommend the same. I was just gonna say I Love You Man. I couldn't think of any other ones.
Yeah.
But this was a good one too, The Gift.
Yeah.
And I would recommend his show, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, I haven't seen anything from the Detroiters. I've heard that one's good. And then the other one is I Think You Should Leave, which I've seen some clips from. My favorite one that I've seen is there's one where they're at like a haunted house, like they're doing like a ghost tour kind of thing. And it's the adult like tour, so only adults can go and they can curse and stuff. So he's like, "Oh, so you're saying it's okay that I curse?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay." And then he just starts, like, just like running off like these crazy curse words, like for no reason, has nothing to do with anything. He's just saying it, and he's getting confused because they're telling him to stop. He's like, "Well, you say I can curse, but then you tell me not to curse," and he's just getting so upset. He's like starts to like cry.
That's funny.
Yeah,
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 I'd check it out just because I like this movie.
yeah. If you like the movie, you'll definitely like his show for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Are you watching anything, or have you watched anything this week that you want to talk about or mention?
No, mostly all I've watched when I have a chance to watch anything is the Nuggets playoffs, which we're playing um, Game 7 against the Oklahoma Thunder. Like right now, it's about to start.
Oh man. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
let's get this over with. I'm just kidding.
yeah,
uh,
we have time.
I just realized you're wearing all your Nuggets gear. I haven't been paying attention to any sports in a really long
Yeah,
time. So I used to be a huge Nuggets fan, and now I feel like I can't say I am because I haven't watched them play in a long
yeah,
time.
and now they're actually doing really good.
Yeah, last time I watched them was for the last championship game that they won. That was the last time.
Yeah, nice.
Which wasn't long ago. That was what, like a
That was a
couple
couple
years
years
ago?
ago.
A couple years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Um. Cool, cool, cool. That's all you've been watching, really? Basketball?
Really, yeah. That's all. Because if I'm not watching Nuggets, I am either editing a video or at work or dealing with family stuff.
Yeah, a lot of
Like
family things.
our brother was just in town, so that kind of got in the way of things, but it's okay. I
Yeah,
love him. So,
yeah. Good to see him. Glad he was there.
yeah, yeah.
That's dope. Cool. I saw Warfare this week.
I did see Warfare. I watched that with Carlos the other night.
Nice.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. Dad was kind of bored during it. He was like, he was waiting for like something to happen, but I think that was the point, right? That we were just sitting with them, experiencing what they're experiencing. Like that's why there's no like score. We're just
Yep.
there with them.
Yep.
And then when it goes down, we're there with them when it's happening.
Yep. I love
liked
that.
it.
I love that about it. It was so raw, so gritty. It was just such raw emotions. It was there was no glory, there was no honor. There was no film score to make it honorable. There was no film score to make it less honorable. There was nothing. It was just however you took it as the story was being told, how it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was no like restructure of the story. A lot of times people directors and writers will take a true story, and that's why it says based off a true story, right? Because
Yeah.
it is based off of it, but then they change it, and then at the end they change it to give it a more climactic feel, or they change how the story actually ended to give it some kind of a climax, right?
Yeah.
And maybe give the character some honor, some glory, something like
Yeah.
that. But there was nothing like that. I was actually waiting for something like that to happen, and it didn't, because I guess that's how the real story went down, And
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I like that. And you're saying like if it was a real like Hollywood story movie, like they would have like picked 1 to 3 characters to be like their main like people that they're going to follow.
Yep.
They would like introduce their family and see their wives and kids or whatever. There'll be flashbacks like going back and forth between that and what was happening. And there was none of that. It was just, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that a lot. That was dope. It was actually co-written by Alex Garland. Is that his name? Let's see. I have it pulled up.
I think you're right.
Yeah, Alex Garland, who wrote Ex Machina. Have you seen the movie, Eric?
Yeah, I love that movie. I have the screenplay right here.
Nice, me too.
Look, I'll show you. Right? Is it screenplay? Yeah. It's cool. Damn.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he wrote that movie, and I think he directed it too. I think he also directed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which is one of my favorite movies. I really like that movie.
Good one.
So that's cool. Glad that he was a co-writer on this one, because I liked this one too.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I've been watching is Primal. Have you seen Primal, Eric? probably have heard of it.
Primal. I'm sure I've heard of it. What is it?
It's an animated show.
Yeah.
Created by Gendy Tartakovsky. I can never say his name right.
Is that the one with the caveman?
Caveman and the T-Rex. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know who this guy is, he made Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack.
And he also worked on Dexter's Lab, and he worked on Powerpuff Girls.
Love Powerpuff Girls.
Yep, love all those shows, honestly. So he's a legend. And this show is something I started watching forever ago, and Natalie and I watched the first season together, and then we kind of fell off because just we started watching other things. But it was also too like a show that we associated with the mota. You know, we used to smoke.
Oh yeah,
and we would smoke and watch the show because it's really cool because it's the way it's told is like there's no real dialogue because it's a caveman and a T-Rex. You know what I mean? There's a lot of grunting and stuff, but it's about so it's all just told through action and emotion. So it's all just feel and action, and it's even though you could tell the budget isn't as high as like I don't know some of these like crazy new animes that are coming out. It's still really good, and it's still like sometimes just as beautiful. Like it has very beautiful backgrounds, very beautiful color palettes. It's a really cool show. I would 10 out of 10 recommend to anybody that enjoys animation or adult animation.
I think when a show or a movie has a limited budget and you have like real like creative people behind it, that's when they like really show their brilliance, like they get creative. They find a way to tell that story with their limited resources, and it's great.
Yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, I stopped smoking for a long time, so we kind of I think that's part of the reason why we stopped watching it. But I've been kind of begging Natalie for like the past year to start watching it again, and so we started watching it. There's only 2 seasons, 10 episodes each. There's one episode I will say I could talk about without really spoiling anything because it has nothing to do with the main characters. But it's about what's his name? Charles. Who's the guy that came up with the theory of evolution?
Darwin.
Yeah, Darwin. I was like, fuck, it was right up to my tongue. Fucking, it's about Darwin, right? He's hanging out with his other intellectual buddies, right? And and they're like having their educated talk and conversation. They're just like hanging out, drinking, and talking about. And he's kind of pitching the idea of evolution, but he's also kind of pitching the idea that inside we're still just as primal as we used to be, and like just all we need is the right moment to kind of de-evolve back to those primal states. And then a madman gets let on the loose and breaks into the house, and then suddenly these like well-educated fancy motherfuckers have to turn primal to save themselves, and it's fucking beautiful. It's so good.
Wow. Sounds good. I think it's interesting that you said that you would smoke when you watched Primal, that you stopped until you were watching Primal.
Yeah.
It's weird like how like that happens because I would work out when I was watching Dragon Ball Z or My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
And if I go back to try to watch it where I pick up where I left off, if I'm not working out, I just feel terrible. So like,
yeah.
Because I associated with that. So if I'm not working out, I'm not watching these shows.
That's so funny. I work out, watch Dragon Ball Z all the time. I actually created a fun little workout thing, like a workout game for Dragon Ball Z. Like if something happens, I have to do like 10 push-ups, or if like it's like a drinking game, but we're working out.
Nice.
Yeah, those are the only 2 things I'm watching right now. Really, still trying to finish Severance.
Yes, I
never have time. So many projects I'm working on all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we went through this pretty fast. I feel like we're so used. We're like veterans now. Are we already on the final thoughts thing? I feel like that was too fast. How long have we been talking?
I don't know. What when did we start? I don't know.
We've only been recording for 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's definitely shorter than our other episodes.
I'm just gonna continue talking about the episode of Primal because there's something I noticed in it that was really cool. Which it's kind of, I don't know. I think it's kind of obvious, but just in case it's not obvious, there's throughout the episode they have to become a little more primal to solve their situation about
Yeah.
this madman in their house. And throughout the episode, the guy that lives there, he like collects all these weapons from like prehistoric ages, right? So throughout the episode, he's grabbing weapons that slowly link back to like a more primal state, right? So he'll go first. He went for a gun, right? Didn't work. Then he went for like a sword, right? Didn't work. Then he went for like a bow and arrow, right? Then it didn't work. Then he created like a spear out of like a stick and something he found, right? And then he just went fisticuffs with the spear. He was like boxing and using the spear at some point. And so like even with the weapons, he's de-evolving into a primal state, and it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's season 2, episode 5. Has nothing to do with the main story. It's really cool.
Okay.
Did
you like the trailers that was shown with Friendship?
Oh, good question. Trying to remember what the trailer. Oh, you know what? We were running super late. We were running mad late because it was at Disney Springs where we had to go see it, and Disney Springs is like kind of far from us now, where we live now. Yeah, Disney Springs is kind of far from us now. It's like 40 minutes, and Natalie always waits to like the last minute to get done, finish getting ready.
Yeah.
So we left last minute, and then there was an accident on the highway on the way over there.
Awesome.
And at some point, I gave up hope. I was like, we're going to miss this fucking movie. I'm going to just have to fucking see it tomorrow. And we made it just in time. Right after the trailers ended, we made it in. So I didn't see any of the trailers.
Oh. Well, there was a trailer for The Phoenician. I don't know if you've seen that trailer. Wes Anderson. I think that looks good.
Oh, okay. I need to catch up on my Wes Anderson filmography.
Yeah. And then also there was one for The Life of Chuck, which I don't really know what it's about, but I'm interested. It's like, was it Secret Life of Walter Mitty? Like it has that kind of vibe.
Oh, okay.
And Mark Hamill's in it, which I'm curious to see.
Interesting. It looks like there's some pretty good actors in it. I just looked it up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston, Matthew Lillard, Mark Hamill, Nick Offerman. Wow.
Yeah, it's got a pretty good cast.
And it has like a Walter Mitty vibe to it, you said?
Yeah, that's what I get from the trailer. Yeah.
Cool. That looks cool.
Yeah. What else was here? Oh, the 28 Years Later, I'm excited for.
Hell yeah. I agree.
That's coming up the weekend. I'll be there in Florida with you, so we'll have time to watch that opening weekend. But
oh, true.
Yeah.
We might.
Yeah. Just leave the kids with Carlos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the Materialist, is that what that's called? With the chick from 50 Shades, Pedro Pascal and Chris Evans.
Yes, I want to see that movie.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
I agree.
One of my friends who was sitting next to me during the movie, he's like, "I'm gonna take my wife to that movie, and I'm gonna fall asleep."
He's gonna take his wife and fall asleep. You said?
Yeah, he said he's gonna fall asleep. But like, I'm sitting there like, I want to see this. Like, I'm gonna go by myself because I don't have a wife.
Yeah, it looks good. I like it.
Yeah, I think it looks interesting.
Yeah,
like, and I like Chris. Like, I like the cast. I haven't really watched anything with the chick from 50 Shades other than Madam Web, which was terrible.
Yeah, I've only seen her in 50 Shades. Yeah, I didn't want to watch that movie.
Madam Web?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It was bad.
just sometimes when movies come out like that, and I'm like, this is gonna be so terrible, and it's linked to something I actually really love, like Spider-Man. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it. Don't ruin my childhood, you know.
It had potential. Like when I was watching, like if I was like, okay, this isn't as bad, and I liked the other three girls and their characters, but the movie itself is just so bad. And I remember because it was attached to every movie I saw. The trailer was so every time I go see a movie, I mostly saw movies with Brandon. I would like look at him like, dude, I'm so sick of this trailer. Like this movie's going to be terrible. I'm not excited to see this.
Yeah, it looks so bad.
Yeah. That's one of those ones where like I had to see it, like kind of like when I saw Snow White, because I wanted, like I know it's going to be bad,
Yeah,
but I need to be able to have my own opinions and not just like, oh, that sucks, you know?
yeah. No, I get it. I'm like that too
Yeah.
for sure. I like mostly when people are like, I like when people are divided, right? When the people are like, there's some people that are like, oh, it's terrible, right? And then there's other people like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so good. I'm like, oh, I gotta go see this, and figure it out for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then also too when everyone's like, it's really really good. I'm like, okay, I'll be the judge of that. You know? Yeah. But when it's terrible, I'm like, it's probably terrible. You know, I feel like the average moviegoer, right? Like they tend to like most films, right?
Yeah.
They don't really have much of a critique on most films. Um, and if they have a critique and it's a bad critique, right?
Yeah.
Then it's probably pretty bad, you know? Like it probably sucks, you know, but there are certain movies where it's like they're really artsy and they're kind of like you kind of have to be into film or into kind of like a like like that one movie Mother, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's a very artsy movie. And I don't think a lot of people really understood it, so people didn't like it really, you know? But yeah.
I don't know what's not to understand about that movie. It's pretty obvious,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Maybe that's just because I grew up in church.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, just like stuff like that, you know what I mean? But it's like really artsy. Some people would like tend not to really get it, and then they're like, "It sucked," you know.
Yeah.
But
I was. You'll find this interesting. Our Uncle Leonard did not like Sinners. So.
Oh, really? He hated it, or
Yeah. So Wendy saw it, right, and she loved it. And so she went and told
Yeah.
her parents how much she loved Sinners, and she told them to go.
Uncle Leonard hated
Yes.
it?
Yeah, he hated it. So Wendy told him to go see it. He went and saw it. And he came back like, that movie was stupid. And she's like, why? They're like, it was just From Dusk Till Dawn. And From Dusk Till Dawn is better. He loves that movie. And he loves Salma Hayek, which
Yeah.
I do too. I love From Dusk Till Dawn. I don't know if I'd say it's better than Sinners. Sinners is similar for sure, but it has
It's a different type
Yeah.
of filmmaking, I think. I think
Yeah, for sure.
Robert Rodriguez, I think he's at his best when he's making kind of like grindhouse, like raw, gritty movies, you know?
Yeah. Or kid movies.
Or kid movies. Yeah. I love Robert Rodriguez. I think his animation that he puts in his movies is a bit too cartoony for me. But
Yeah.
it works for the kid movies, but and like the more adult ones. Yeah. I think the last really good movie I thought I saw from him was Alita Battle Angel.
I loved Alita Battle Angel.
Me too.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to get that sequel, but
No, I don't think so either. Just because like I feel like it got undermined by fucking Miss Marvel or whatever, which was a very movie.
Captain Marvel came out that same
Yeah,
time?
Captain Marvel. Yeah, I think it was the same weekend. I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
Something like
That's
that.
unfortunate.
Yeah,
I mean, I do like Captain Marvel, but Alita Battle Angel,
was definitely the better movie.
yeah, and nobody saw it, which
Yeah.
is unfortunate.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a blister on my foot. It's hurting me.
Uh-oh.
I walked like a couple miles in some sandals, and
That'll do it.
yeah, so now my foot hurts. But that's funny that our Uncle Leonard didn't like it. Well, when did you?
Yeah, no. Wendy loved it. Yeah, I saw them at Daniela's graduation party last week. So, congrats, Daniela, on graduating.
Congrats, Steve. Also,
Yeah.
congrats, Candace. Candace
Candace.
graduated too,
Yep.
right?
Yes, she did.
Right
I think
on.
that's it. I don't know. We got her family's so huge.
Our family's fucking massive, yo. Whenever I tell people about how fucking big our family is, they're like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Yeah, my dad
Yeah.
has 9 siblings. My mom has 8, and then they all had like got married and had kids, and now those kids have kids,
Yeah.
and
And they each on average.
some of their kids have kids. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
And
Jesus
like
Christ.
they average like 3 kids each. Like,
Yeah, and that's not even counting
yeah.
our parents' cousins, right?
Yeah.
We have family in Chicago and California, and like it's in Texas too. Fucking
Yeah. We're everywhere.
on 23andMe, Eric, I have a 23andMe, and
Yeah.
almost every week I get an email saying I got more relatives found. It's at
I'm not
it's
surprised.
at like 3,000, yo. There's like 3,000 people that we're related to so far, and that's just people that did 23andMe. That's not even including the people that didn't do 23andMe.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of family.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Um. Anyways, I feel like we didn't really talk much about friendship other than the beginning. It was really quick. Do you want to
Yeah,
do you
very-
want to do you want to segue back to it and maybe wrap it up with some final thoughts?
Sure. I don't know what else to say. Do you have anything else to say? Maybe I'll think of something.
I really liked to the um there's I feel like so the slow movements of the camera, right? The slow zooms, the panners, all that. Was to make you feel uneasy, and then they also sometimes would blend it with that little zoom in like circle thing that they used to do in
Yeah.
like older cartoons and movies and shit.
Yeah.
And that's like more a comedic thing now, right? And I feel
Yeah.
like both of those things kind of like the mixture of the camera usage and effects kind of describe the feeling of the movie, right? It's like uneasy,
Yeah.
but it's also supposed to be funny, you know?
Yeah. No, that works. It's definitely since like the guy's just like so awkward and different. Can you
Hold
hear me?
up. I'm hearing a tapping noise. Are you tapping?
I'm not tapping.
It's just my inner thoughts, I guess. It went away. You're good.
But no, like he's so like awkward, and the fact that the movie does like seem like it's going to be like a more serious movie at the start, and that they're using these like weird effects and transitions, which is normally meant for, like you said, for cartoons. Like it kind of like sets the tone. Like this isn't your normal movie. This is different. This is
Yeah.
strange. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. There's something else. Oh, I like at the end too, where the wife's back in the house and he's like, "It's good having you back, right? It's good having you in the house again."
Yeah.
And he goes to the car and he starts driving off, and it makes it seem like the movie's about to end, right?
Yeah.
But then he pulls up again, and I'm glad because at first I was like, "No, the movie can't end right here." Like they never paid off the gun thing, right? He stole the gun
Yeah.
when he burglarized the house, and they never.
Yeah.
I was, in my head, I was like, this might turn really fucking dark, right? I was like, and especially since I watched the first episode of Black Mirror. Have you watched the new season of Black Mirror?
No, I'm behind.
Don't watch the first episode. It's the saddest fucking thing I've ever seen ever. It's probably just as sad, if not sadder, than that fucking movie that Ana de Armas was in, where she played Marilyn Monroe. Have you seen that movie?
No.
That movie's fucking sad too. Don't watch that either. And then fucking no, it's a good movie. It's really well done. It's meant to make you feel really like sad and like you feel bad for her. And then Requiem for a Dream is another movie where it's like it's just kind of dark and it doesn't leave you feeling good, right?
Yeah.
It's a not feel good movie. So when he stole the gun, I had just watched the episode not that long ago, and so when he stole the gun, I was like, this could turn really dark, just like that episode. Like he could use that gun to commit suicide. He could use it to commit homicide, right? I was like, who knows what's gonna happen with that fucking gun, right? But at the end, when they make you seem like it's about to end, I was like, it can't end. They never had the payoff for the gun, right?
Yeah.
And then so he comes back, and then I thought he was gonna smash into that dude's car, And I think
Yeah.
maybe he was intending to, but he missed. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, he had
The
the
curve.
speed bump, which he put in. Like he had
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Which there's another thing I really love about this movie is that every setup had a payoff. Like everything
Yeah.
that was mentioned had a payoff. Other than those weird quirks, I think that's just mainly made for his character development to kind of get
Yeah.
you to know his kind of weird quirks that he has. But yeah, so I'm glad he went back and then he did some crazy shit at the end with the gun.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Did you see that clip I sent you, Paul Rudd talking about the movie?
I think I did.
Yeah, where he was saying that like they like took the script and this each like scenario. He said, let's throw out all the obvious jokes. So like,
Oh, you know what? I don't think I watched that clip, Eric. You sent it to me
yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. On Instagram.
on Instagram. Okay, I'll see if I can find it.
He was saying that like when they were writing, they like would set something up and they would. He said like these would be like the obvious jokes or the way it would go, and you're like just throw those out. Throw anything that would be an obvious thing, and then do something different.
No, that's cool though. Yeah, because it all. So I'm guessing Paul Rudd was like maybe like involved with the writing process. I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of times in comedies
Yeah,
they have
the main comedic actors usually have a lot of good ideas and say so.
like there's a lot of like improv and stuff. And so
Yeah.
like, probably like, hey, like this is what it's doing. Let's scrap that and try something different.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked. They did a really good job of like setting up all the stuff and paying it off because I think that's
Yeah.
like something that especially a lot of like amateur filmmakers don't really understand. And so that's like all movies are really, you know,
Yeah.
just set up and pay off throughout that entire movie. You know, it's like when you see a bad horror film and they like zoom in on like a bat on the wall, and so it's
Yeah.
in your mind you're like, oh, they're gonna use that later, right?
Yeah.
And then they never do, and you're
They
like,
never do.
What the fuck, dude? What was that shot
Why'd
for?
Yeah.
Why did you have a
No.
slow zoom on the bat?
Well, that's what I liked about the kid at the cell phone store, right? Because he goes to him. The kid tells him to come back to him if he ever wants something more or stronger than alcohol. And so when he goes back to get another phone, he tells him, I want something more than alcohol. The kid takes him to the back. He tells him, when my hair's up, I'm Tony. When it's down, I'm T-Boy. And
T-boy, yeah.
you think that it's T-Boy because his name's Tony. But it's T-Boy because he has a
He has a
toad
toad.
that charges people to lick.
Which,
And so, yeah.
which, by the way, did you know those toads come from Mexico, Eric?
Yeah.
So Natalie was watching with me and she's like, "What? Lick a toad?" It's a toad that excretes like a venom, and if you lick it, it's like a crazy trip, like DMT pretty much. Which is why I thought that scene was so funny because I was like, "Damn, he's about to see some crazy shit, you know."
Then he goes to Subway.
That was so funny, yo. Which I also like because I feel like Subway is probably a big like sponsor for this movie, right?
Yeah.
And like it's a crazy scene to be a sponsor of, first of all, and
Yeah.
two, it's such a creative way to throw in your sponsorship. You know, a lot of times it's like
Yeah.
cars. You know, they use like a pristine Ford throughout the entire zombie film. You know, like it's like the only
Yeah.
clean truck in all of Apocalypse, right? Or like, or it's like a drink that they drink throughout the whole movie. That's so funny. But all right, Ned, anything else you want to say to the audience before we cut them loose?
No.
Um,
Thanks for watching and listening.
Yep. Thank you, everyone, for supporting us and watching us. Thank you, family. You guys have been the biggest, I think, supporters. And thank you, Eric's friends. Shout out to Eric's friends. You guys are the only ones that respond to my Instagram posts about like polls and stuff like that. And you guys still voting and suggesting stuff. I appreciate it. If You guys didn't have. If you guys want more of us, I guess. First of all, I'm not really anywhere, so that you're not gonna really get more of me. I have an art channel that I haven't updated in like a couple of years. But Eric is on Twitch. Follow him at Gen Eric.
XX.
Gen
Eric,
XX Eric.
Yeah.
What do you play there?
Mostly Fortnite, but I would like to play other games. Just Fortnite's easy to play because a lot of my friends play it, and people like to watch Fortnite, so I get used to that. Also started a new Instagram for that, same name.
You started a new you started a new Instagram for it?
Instagram, yeah, Gen XX Eric, same name, but haven't posted anything on there yet.
Cool. Right on. Well, there you go, audience. Follow Eric on Twitch. Keep following us. We have more to come, and maybe we'll figure out what we're gonna do next week. We didn't really talk about that. Huh? Normally we do.
No, normally we do. I don't know what we're doing next week.
We'll figure it out. You guys will see. You guys stay tuned. You know.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Love you guys. Bye.